Good morning, everyone. Hey, this morning I was talking to someone about spirituality, and it was an interesting conversation. I remember about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I first got sober, I was really wanted to be spiritual, and I went to a lot of meditation meetings and burned sage, and I was reading a lot of dream books, and I had a dream catcher and crystals, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. And I was really trying to get that spirituality. And as I've gotten older and sober this time, after that relapse, I found spirituality to be something quite different. And as I was thinking about it and I was speaking about it, there was a common thread. I told the person that spirituality for me has been more about the action. It's been about what I've done. When I went into a 12-step program, there's things that you have to do. They ask you, they suggest. And I wanted to change my life, so I took suggestion. And the things that I didn't want to do, but did them anyway because I wanted something different, that's when I really kind of hooked into that spirituality. So it's like going to the gym. You know, I can say I want to lose weight. I can say that I want to be fit and healthy. So I'm going to go to the gym. But actually what happens is you got to go to the gym and then you get fit and healthy. Spirituality is kind of the same thing. I have to do something to get spirituality. I have to take some action. And a lot of people think that sounds hard. You know, like, what are you talking about? I'm going to put some very simple things out there for you to do that you can try. Because just like everything else, it seems to be the action that's the problem, right? If you're like me, I have read a million books, watched a million YouTube things, and done all these things, you know, these different, you know, self-help things. And they're great in theory. They really are. But unless you actually do it, nothing changes in your life. Whether it's recovery, your health, your job, your relationship. If what you're doing and you don't like the results you're getting, change up what you're doing. And maybe just change it a little at a time. You don't have a complete overhaul. And you know, a lot of people talk about this. I am not the only one. I read that book by Mel Robbins, The 5 Seconds. I think it's the 5-second rule. And she talks about it, how she forced herself to do something was she would count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just do it. And it's a great book. You should read it. I found it very helpful. And there's a lot of different things. There's another guy I watched on YouTube, and I will come up with that and print that on my blog. And he was talking about how you can do anything in your life if you just make every day a small incremental change. So he was talking about if you want to read a book, or if you're studying, if you're a student and you have to study and you have to read a book, pick up the book and read one word. Just one word. That's the hardest part of reading the whole book. But once you read one word, you'll probably read 2 or 3, might get a sentence in, a chapter, paragraph, a chapter, right? It's that starting, making yourself do it, and making incremental changes in your life. And sometimes you have to take the body and the mind will follow. So if you want to feel better or you want different results in your life, start making little teeny incremental changes. And you will start changing the way you see things and the way you feel. One of the very first things that I did that was suggested to me was when I went, and this sounds silly, but when I went to the grocery store, I would take my cart back to the store. I'd put my groceries in my car, you know, put my purse in, relock the door, and instead of just put it in the closest little spot, I would push my cart back up and put it in the store with the rest of the carts. And why did I do that? I don't know. I wanted to do something different. I did something Nobody knew I was doing it. I didn't get accolades. I didn't get that attaboy bullshit stuff. But I got the sense that I was participating in my own experience. I was getting a little exercise. I was being more respectful of the place that I was shopping. A lot of little things started happening, and I became known as this person. You know, my daughter used to say, oh my God, my mom takes the cart back every time. And I ran into another woman, and she was taking her cart back, and she looked at me and she goes, oh my gosh, are you one of those people? And I said, I'm one of those people. I guess one of those people is a person who is desperate to change their life. That's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do, which we've heard a lot about, you hear about it. Again, it sounded great in theory until I did it. And then I realized how wonderful it was I was in line at Starbucks. And I said to the barista or the person at the window, what's the person behind me getting? Are they getting like, coffee for the office? No, they're just getting a coffee. Okay, I'll pay for it. And I pay for my coffee, I pay for theirs, and then I take off. I wouldn't wave, hey, I buy your coffee. No, just private, just for me to know. I'm adding to my own life. I'm trying to change my own life. I've talked about this too, working out. If you're trying to work out and you can't seem to get to the gym, just get to the door. Just get to the door. See if you can get up off the couch, grab your bag. Maybe that's a lot because your bag's not ready. So get your bag ready. Maybe that's all you can do today. Get your bag ready. Put it by the door. Put it in your car. Then the next time, go to the door. Then maybe make it all the way out to the car. Get in the car and say, okay, I'm getting closer. Incremental little steps. Do something. And every day that builds on it. It builds and builds and builds. Pretty soon you're at the gym. Then you think, well, fuck, now I'm Superman, right? I mean, I can do anything. And it does. It starts happening. And I think everything's like that. Spirituality, the same thing. I have to make the amends I don't want to make. I have to take suggestions. I have to go to the meeting I don't want to go to. Not because I need a meeting. Maybe someone's there that needs my help. Maybe just me being there keeps the doors open for the next person. I owe. And I think this kind of behavior is leveling up. You want to level up your life? Don't think you got to do a whole big deal. Just do a little bit. Do something today that's more than you did yesterday. Try that today. Just think about it. Whatever you did, add just a little something to it. I mean, it's amazing. There's this old, I wasn't going to tell this story. It just popped in my head, but there was this old analogy. This guy was talking about a rancher who every day drove out in his old truck, and he drove out to feed the cows. And he would drive out there in the same tracks and drive back, out, back, out, back. After 20 years, pretty much he'd start up the truck and the thing would just go in the tracks. He'd let go of the wheel. It was a route. And how do you change a route like that? You turn the steering wheel like 1 degree every day. And pretty soon, you've turned yourself completely around. It might take a little while, but you can get yourself out of the route. It's too hard to just try to change directions all at once. But 1 degree of change every day. And maybe some days you'll throw in 5 or 10 degrees of change. But for now, just try to do something today a little different than you did yesterday. A little bit more towards your goal. And see what happens. In 3 months, you're going to be amazed. Have a great day. Bye.